Telling him, you're dead, there's 5 more rounds left. And I was getting fitter and fitter. Do you know what it is? I even sparred for 4 weeks. I did my nose in, and it just started to heal.
Hey, what's up? This is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel. Now, who's ready for some fighting words? In this video, I have one question to ask. Just one question. Is Ben Whitaker a fraud? Really quick, if you like the videos, please take the time right now, subscribe to the channel. Things are heating up in the sports boxing, and I want to be the one to deliver this news to you. It just takes one click, subscribe. Also, hit that thumbs up button. It does help, and it does show love to this channel. And I've been saying it lately. I'm going to continue saying it. Please circulate the videos. Let everybody know the Fighting Words is here. So the question is Ben Whitaker a fraud? Well, according to that fight that we just saw, yeah. I'm not gonna say he's a fraud, but I think it's interesting to see what somebody has inside of them when they have somebody in front of them who didn't get the email, didn't get the memo. Hey, this is my show. And Liam Cameron, he definitely he didn't get the email. He did not get it. He didn't get it. All right, and I think it's shows even more on Ben Whitaker, because you're dealing with a guy like Liam Cameron who's not very, let's be honest, the guy's nothing special. He's just a hard worker. That's it. He's a 9-to-5 fighter. He's a hard worker. Slow and steady wins the race. You're looking at the tortoise and the hare between these two. Nothing special about Liam Cameron. Only thing special about him was his determination and his will to win. His will to continue going. I don't know who would have won in the end, but there's a few things that I picked up on. One, Liam was getting momentum as the fight was going on, and he was really starting to touch Ben Whitaker up. Two, he was never frustrated. When you have guys who fight like Ben Whitaker, a lot of times it's not necessarily what he's hitting you with that gets you out of there. It's the frustration of not being able to put your hands on him. It's the frustration of him not doing what sequentially a fighter does in the ring. You know, double right hand, then you throw 2. And maybe he'll do something out of sequence. You're not expecting a lot of things. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating with his movements. It's frustrating with his punch selection. It's frustrating with the angles in which he's throwing these punches. All these things are frustrating to you. And, you look at classic Lomachenko fights where these guys just quit on their stools. It's not that they're afraid of Lomachenko. They just don't know what to do if they get back up. I'm not afraid of the guy. He doesn't hit that hard or anything like that, but I don't know where he is, and I don't know what he's going to do next. And it's just the frustration of having to chase him down, and then he's not there. And then I get hit 3-4 times in the process while doing so. And you look at Ben Whitaker, and he's like that. The problem is when you just have a hard worker that says, prior to the fight, I understand I'm going to get hit tonight. And you have to understand that. You're a fighter. If I go sparring now, I understand I'm going to get hit. I understand it. I always tell myself that. You're going to get hit. You're going to get hit. You're going to get hit. If you know you're going to get hit, then you're the likelihood of you reacting in a positive way, swinging back or accepting the punch, as opposed to doing something. I've seen fighters who turn their backs. I've seen guys who, you look at Deontay Wilder, it's like he'll do this whole thing like, no, not me. Like, what are you doing, bro? You've been doing this long enough that, that is not the proper response. So it's just, what do? Liam Cameron understood, I'm going to get hit. And that's okay. You're going to get hit. You're absolutely right. You are going to get hit. But it's what do you do when you get hit? That's the question. What are you going to do when you get hit? How are you going to respond when you get hit? And he showed himself very well. He responded extremely well. And I look at Ben Whitaker. He did not respond so well. He didn't respond well at all. And now let's just jump really quick into the fall out of the ring. So when I look at that, and I looked at it a few times, if there were anybody who were hurt, it would have been Liam Cameron. It wouldn't have been Ben Whitaker. And I don't know why he's grabbing his head. I don't know. And then it's his foot that he walks out with. I don't know. in my personal opinion, Ben Whittaker was getting hit way more than what he thought he should have got hit with. And he was in there with a C-level fighter, and he's an A-level fighter, at least in his mind. And it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing that this guy is still in the ring after all these rounds. It was embarrassing that this guy was picking up momentum. He was literally picking up momentum because he was starting to put his hands together pretty well. You know, he was gaining some steam. And if you want a little bit more truth to what I'm saying, the low blows from Ben Whitaker. I mean, dude, listen, there's no way you guys are that tall and you're throwing low blows like that, back to back. You know, people typically throw low blows when they want somebody off of them, or they want some space, or they want to try to gain some type of edge. You know, they want to take a little fight out of their opponent. But back to back, come on. It's not, you don't see that many low blows in an MMA fight, and these guys are kicking. That's all I'm saying. So, you know, it looked a little suspicious. And then, you know, like, Ben Whitaker clearly loves basketball, and LeBron James is clearly his favorite player, because that little Broadway performance where he's holding his head and he's just so dramatic, and, you know, and it's funny because everybody goes to Liam first, so he's got to do it like longer than what he, like, you know, I guess he was planning on having to do it, but he's like rolling around, he's holding his head, and it's just like, dude, you did not fall on your head. Like, it didn't look that bad. It did not look that bad. I seen Bernard Hopkins fall out the ring and get back up. I seen Bernard Hopkins fight with a messed up arm. I've seen Floyd Mayweather fight with a broken hand. If you don't get back up and do what you got to do, I've seen guys fight with broken jaws. Like, Mickey Ward had a busted eardrum when he was fighting Arturo Gatti. Get out of here, dude. If you know anything about a busted eardrum, that means you're going to see 3 people in there and you're going to be on wobbly legs for the rest of the night. And he was still fighting and punching and still competitive. So if you don't get back on your feet and get back on your horse, that just said a lot about his character to me, personally. I wasn't impressed with his character. Did he look sharp early? Yeah, he did. He looked sharp early. But I think guys like that, it takes something out of them when the script doesn't come out the way it was read or written. It was written for Ben Whitaker to have a masterclass performance against a C-level fighter, and he was going to get him out of there in dramatic fashion, and he was going to make a meme, according to him. He said, I'm going to make a meme out of you. And none of it happened, and it was frustrating. And then this guy starts piecing you up. This guy starts hitting you from all types of angles. This guy actually starts putting his hands together real well, and then it becomes a problem. How are we going to handle that? Now, I would expect that a dog would come out of you, but it didn't come out. It didn't come out. And I don't think that, you know, the rope thing was on purpose or anything. I'm not saying that. But I am saying an opportunity presented itself for him to be excused from the dinner table. And he took it. That's what I think. I think an opportunity presented itself. And he said, you know what? Mom, Dad, can I be excused? I don't want to be here no more. I don't want to be here no more. But guess what? You got to deal with that guy. And you got to... If you ask me, the moral win went to Liam Cameron. If you ask me, Liam Cameron should be looking at that fight saying, I can really beat this guy. He's the guy. He's the A-level guy, but I can really beat this guy. Because what I see, it was going to go worse and worse and worse for Ben Whitaker as long as Liam Cameron kept his gas tank. He was putting his hands together better and better and better as the rounds went on. And keep in mind, he's a bigger guy. He's a bigger guy. So I'm like, all right, this is going to get real interesting real quick. And we're going to see what this guy is about. Now, let me just address how Ben Whitaker fights. You know, it's flashy. It's, you know, it's all that stuff and people love him for it. That's cool. But you know how you beat that? Number 1, don't get frustrated. Number 2, stick to your jab. And number 3, be consistent. And those were all the 3 things that Barrera did to Prince Nassim Hamed. And he won. And those were the characteristics and the traits that Liam Cameron was showing with Ben Whitaker. And he started to piece him up. So if you ask me, it was only going to go downhill. And like I said, a reason presented itself for Ben Whitaker to leave and be escorted out. And he said, you know what? I'm definitely going to take this. I'm going to take this. I'm gonna look at all. I'm gonna do my favorite LeBron James flop, and I'm gonna work it. I'm gonna work it till they wheel me out of here, and that's exactly what happened. Do I think Ben Whitaker is the real deal? No, I think he's been doing that to C-level fighters his whole career, and it looks real cute. But when you have, and here's the honest truth when it comes to Ben Whitaker. He ain't even cracked the top 5 yet. You're not doing that to top 5 guys. Liam Cameron is not even top 8. You didn't do that to the guys. Like, there's the dudes and there's the guys. You didn't do it to the guys yet. You didn't even do it to a gatekeeper yet. A gatekeeper is number 5 who decides who gets in to become one of the guys or stay one of the dudes. You haven't even done to a gatekeeper yet. So is he a fraud? It's questionable. I say it like that. It's questionable. That's why I've never really done a video on him, because he's getting all this praise. And I always tell people when they mention him to me, yeah, he's doing it to like C-level fighters. Fine. Give me a guy who's been boxing for like 5 years. I'll do the same thing to that guy. Not a problem. Doesn't mean anything. Like it means nothing. But if you crack the top 5 and then you do that, now you're saying something. Now you are saying something. You're not saying anything thus far. That's nothing to brag about. Like, I'm sorry, it's just nothing to brag about. And it was proven. Stick to your jab. Be consistent. And don't get frustrated. Be composed. You're talking about a guy in Liam Cameron who did jail time. He knows what composure means. He knows the meaning of composure. He knows the meaning of consistency. He knows the meaning of hard work, because he had to get up out of there. Yep. Just the basics. Nothing extra. None of that Ben Whitaker stuff where you're dancing around and all that. No, just the basics. Just the basics. That'll take you around the world. Andre Ward once said, he said that jab will take you around the world. That flashy stuff that you're doing, it's cute. It'll get you applause. It'll get you likes. It's cute, But that jab, take you around the world. Now Liam Cameron has a promoter. They were so impressed with him after the fight that he's got a promoter now. He's been doing everything on his own. He was just a rogue warrior. Now he's a part of a stable. He impressed a lot of people, including this guy right here. So shout out to him. And Ben Whitaker, we want to see a rematch. And I don't know, I guess we'll put pads around the ring or something like that. Everybody drop your thoughts down below.